Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. I decided to make this video. I don't think I have ever made this video yet, until now. Maybe I have, if so, it is what it is. This is just a re-upload, I guess. But seriously, I don't think I have ever made this video. If I did, and then I'll take it down afterwards, I don't feel like fucking checking and all that bullshit. So, I have showed you my Godzilla video games, the Pipeworks games that I got. I have showed you the Godzilla PS4 game many times, gameplays of that. I have showed you a lot of my Godzilla figures, the Shogun Godzilla toy, and, Bandai Godzilla toys, and the Playmates Godzilla toys, and, I showed you all that stuff. I don't think I have showed you my Godzilla DVD collection, and just here's a brief little sneak peek of all of my Godzilla movies that I have. A lot of these I've been having since 9 years old until now. So, here's a little brief, if I can even do this, I don't know. Here's a brief continuous of all the Godzilla movies that I have. Now there is some that I do have that aren't Godzilla, that are not Godzilla. So those ones I want to show off first. It's just three. But the first one I want to show off is a double featured, and I hate when they do this for the double featured. They, for some odd reason, they make one side the one movie, the other side the other movie, and that's just the easiest way to scratch up the disc. I don't know why they did that back in the day, but no other than the first movie that does not have anything to do with Godzilla is Rebirth of Mothra, I guess the first one, and then Rebirth of Mothra 2, double featured. So, you got Rebirth of Mothra, then Rebirth of Mothra 2. Now, I know they apparently made a third one of Rebirth of Mothra. I don't have that one, though. I just have the first two double featured. Next movie I have, King Kong Escapes. And yep, I even have this movie, King Kong Escapes, where Kong's fighting the robot version of himself. There you go, King Kong Escapes. I have this movie as well. And then I have the infamous Peter Jackson King Kong. The Peter Jackson 2-disc special edition of the Peter Jackson King Kong. 2-disc, not two fucking dishes. 2-disc special edition Peter Jackson King Kong. There you go. So now, those are all the movies that I have that have nothing to do with Godzilla. Now, the movies that I have that actually do have a lot to do with Godzilla. First one here, I have just written Godzilla DVDs because there's like maybe 4-5 Godzilla DVDs in this thing. And I know as a kid I should have gotten them on like a normal case like this, but I didn't want to take 2-3 hours, having the cases being made, and so the person that, just copied the movies for me, just put them all in this thingy. So, and the movies I have, I even have Jaws in here. Totally forgot about that. I have a Jaws movie. This is not about Jaws. But the first Godzilla movie here in this little case thingy, if I can get it out, I like to try to be careful with my stuff. I don't like to really, try to bend it too much. There we go. The first Godzilla film movie I have, Destroy All Monsters. Godzilla, there we go. Godzilla Destroy All Monsters. First one, Destroy All Monsters. Just put that back in there. Let's flip this. Nothing there. The next one I have in here, Godzilla's Revenge. I have Godzilla's Revenge. Godzilla's Revenge. And in here as well. The next one I have is, some Kung Fu movie. Forget about that. And of course, the other one I have in here, Godzilla King of the Monsters, the original, very first Godzilla film. Godzilla King of the Monsters, the very first Godzilla film. So there we go. I have three Godzilla films in here. I thought it was like more than that, but it's only 3. Now, let's close this up. The next ones that I have here on DVD, Godzilla Raids Again, the actual second ever movie that ever got made. Godzilla Raids Again. I'm stupid. Godzilla Raids Again. But yeah, Godzilla Raids Again, the second ever Godzilla movie. Godzilla Raids Again. The next one, the original encounter, the very first encounter of these two, King Kong versus Godzilla, the 1962 movie. I think this came out 1962. I don't see a year. I do not see a year at all when this film came out, but I do think this came out in 1962. So, yeah, all this is 2005. This movie did not come out in fucking 2005. So, yeah, I don't see a year this came out. But, anyways, the original encounter of King Kong and Godzilla. King Kong vs. Godzilla, the original. I'm sorry if you hear stuff in the background there. Mom's doing stuff with the baby. It is what it is. She's doing stuff with the baby. Next movie I want to show off, the original Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla from 1974. The original. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. And actually, talking about this movie, I have the second movie coming in the mail to add more to my Godzilla movie collection. I don't know when it will come in the mail, but when I get the movie, of course, I'll do an unboxing of that. I have one other Godzilla Bandai figure, mint on card, that should be coming tomorrow, hopefully. But, yeah, or mint in the box. But, yeah, the original, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. 1974. And like I said, I got the actual second movie coming in the mail prior. It's Terror of Mechagodzilla. I got that coming in the mail. And now, the so-called second movie, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, even though this is not the second movie. But, and this, I believe, came out in 1993? 1992, 1993? Godzilla vs. Wannabe Mechagodzilla 2. But yeah, from 1992, 1993. So, as a kid, I always thought this was the second movie, but no. This was actually the third Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla movie. The third. So, now, another one, Godzilla GMK. Godzilla GMK, or also known as Godzilla vs. Mothra and King Ghidorah. And Baragon. So, but funny thing is, King Ghidorah and Mothra, I don't think were supposed to be in this movie. I think it was supposed to be Baragon, Varan, and Anguirus, but then they switched it around and, added King Ghidorah and Mothra in it. But yeah, Godzilla GMK. So, fun fact about this movie, Godzilla GMK. And this came out in 2001, I believe, Godzilla GMK. 2001, even though there's no year again. I don't know why they don't fucking put the years on these movies. I do not see a year whatsoever. It says 2003, but I know for a fact the movie came out in 2001. There it is, 2001. I see the year. Godzilla GMK. Found the year in this one. Found the year in that one. Another movie, Godzilla vs. Biollante, and I don't remember the year about this movie. Maybe it says 1992, apparently it says on the back here, 1992, but yeah, Godzilla vs. Biollante. Godzilla vs. Biollante. Next one, Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. Godzilla vs. the sea monster. And some of these don't seem like the disc is inside of there. That's why I end up, looking. But I'm pretty good with keeping my movies and stuff in check. But, sometimes you don't hear it rattling around in there, so you just make sure. One of the new legendary Godzilla films, Godzilla 2014, bonus disc, loaded with special features of Godzilla 2014 from the new legendary. So, Son of Godzilla, we got Son of Godzilla. And let me tell you, the back here got all messed up. So as a kid, instead of just leaving it alone, apparently I taped it up. But to be honest, I taped it up really good. It has never came apart, but I don't know if you can see that on the back. I don't know if, can you see all that, like, I don't know if you can really see, but yeah, like it's like a whole circle. I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, Son of Godzilla. Son of Godzilla. Next one, we got Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. And apparently this movie came out in 2000. Strange. But yeah, Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. One of my favorite Godzilla movies, besides the original encounter with Mechagodzilla and the real second encounter, we got Godzilla Final Wars. And let me tell you how many times I have watched this movie. As a kid, previously watching all the others, and just facing one or two kaiju. Cool, right? Well, when I seen this shit, oh my god, it blew my fucking mind how many monsters Godzilla was facing in this film. Please. This is like a birthday Christmas wish out here in this motherfucker. Big movie companies, if y'all could do an updated version of Final Wars, I don't think Legendary has a license to Godzilla anymore. Maybe they do. But hey, Legendary, make another Final Wars. Please. You would get tons of fucking people. Trust me. Just think, with the technology and everything, having another Final Wars would be fucking awesome. So yeah, Godzilla Final Wars. One of the best, in my opinion, Godzilla movies. I love Final Wars because just the fucking monster brawling and all the kaiju that are in it. Now, Godzilla 2000, or aka Godzilla 1999. But yeah, Godzilla 2000. After that horrible fucking, 1998 film, 1999, yeah, 1998 film that came out, bullshit film. A lot of people are gonna still, till this day, be like, that's Godzilla. No, it's not. It's fucking Zilla. That film has nothing to do with Godzilla. Now, personally, I don't really mind watching that film here and there, but if you try to tell me that this is a full-on 100% Godzilla film, go fuck yourself. It is not a full-on Godzilla film. If Godzilla, any version, even 1954, faced that Godzilla from the fucking real OG Godzilla would fucking beat that shit's ass. So don't sit there and try to fight with me and tell me that's Godzilla. First of all, in any other Godzilla movie, have you ever seen Godzilla die from fucking missiles? No, it's bullshit. So, Godzilla 2000. As a kid, don't get me wrong, I liked that movie because, let's be honest, Godzilla 1998 was one of the first Godzilla movies I seen as a child. Then growing up, seeing more of the films, learning more of Godzilla, that film is like, what the fuck? So, I might seem like I hate that film. I do not. Trust me, there was one other Godzilla movie as a kid that I didn't like because of how cool Godzilla was, and I'll get to that in a second. Now, growing up, looking back on that film, I realized, man, this was actually not that bad as I thought it was as a kid. Get to that in a second, though. But, yeah, as a child, I loved the 1998 film, but then growing up, knowing more about Godzilla, watching all the old Toho films, the people that fucking created Godzilla, that is not a Godzilla film. Now, if you called that film Zilla, a kind of like, I don't know if you would say a rip-off version, maybe you will. But I'd be like, okay, kind of some of the stuff inspires Godzilla. But that is not a Godzilla film. So, now, however, another double featured movie, and again, I hate when they fucking did this shit. Another double featured movie, we have Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah and Godzilla vs. Mothra, The Battle of Earth. Another movie I did not like as a kid, because in my opinion, when Mothra would beat Godzilla, it would make no fucking sense to me. I'm like, Mothra's just a big giant fucking butterfly moth. How in the fuck can that be Godzilla? Godzilla in reality would just have to toast fucking Mothra with the atomic breath, and there you go. So, but yeah, Godzilla and Mothra, The Battle of Earth. And then Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Or King Ghidorah. So. Or Monster fucking Zero. Whatever you want to call the three-headed thing. So. Now, another legendary film. The remake of Godzilla King of the Monsters. The remake. Which is honestly, this is pretty good. This one right here from Legendary, pretty good. So. And the original, for what it was fucking cool as shit. Now I know, a lot of people would probably be like, no, the original is shit, but no. For what it was, the story was actually good. The original. I admit that. But what they did here of King of the Monsters for like a remake was pretty damn good as well. From Legendary. But yes, Godzilla King of the Monsters from Legendary. The last film that I have until I get my Terror of Mechagodzilla movie in the mail, but the last one to show off here is another double featured, which I don't know why they did this back in the day, but another double featured movie here, and the last one, is Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Destroyer. And I believe this one came out in okay, so Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla came out in 1994. Godzilla vs. Destroyer, 1995. Now, let me tell you about Godzilla vs. Destroyer. As a kid, I didn't like the movie because I was just so obsessed with how badass Godzilla looked in that movie. Come on, don't sit there and say when y'all as a kid seen Burning Godzilla, you're like, oh, that's a fucking cool-ass looking Godzilla. And I was just so pissed at, Godzilla died and everything, and I'm like, this is the worst Godzilla movie ever. But then, I grew up, I watched the movie a little more, and now that I think about it, if you really, really, really sit there and think about it, Destroyer is a badass monster too. And if I'm gonna out there say it, as much as I love Godzilla, don't get me wrong. If Legendary, however, decided to make one more Godzilla film, and this is how I would have it go. I know there's going to be people that are going to be like, just listen. So in the beginning of the movie, Godzilla from the previous film beat King Kong, beat Mechagodzilla, comes back, has a known that something's bad's going to happen. So in the film, Godzilla, is fighting these other monsters, beats these other monsters, whatever. Destroyer comes along, and in the first battle, they have a battle, but then they retreat, they go their separate ways. The humans do whatever they do, and then bam. The next battle. Godzilla is trying every little fucking thing. I mean, the atomic breath, trying to fight for her or his life. I don't know, some people think Godzilla's a boy, some people think Godzilla's a girl. I don't really care. But Godzilla's trying to fight, for the lifetime. Doesn't get it, Destroyer ends up killing Godzilla. I would fucking be okay with that. Because if you think about it, Destroyer is one badass looking fucking monster, if you think about it. Destroyer's up there with the Chainsaw Gigan, up there with Biollante, up there even with Kiryu. So, in my opinion, he's one of the ones that are like, holy shit, if you really think about it, Destroyer wouldn't be that bad of a monster to actually dethrone Godzilla. Just in my opinion. My opinion. But I would be, oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I would love for Godzilla to have that one last battle as well, to finally get the upcomings on Destroyer. It would be cool. But if Destroyer actually ends up coming back and dethrones Godzilla, I would not have a problem with that. And especially if they make somehow Destroyer look even more badass than the original look, oh yeah, take my fucking money. So, but however, that's it. That's my Godzilla movies, and don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Godzilla, but you gotta understand, so, if they had that happen, and I'm not just saying like, oh, have Godzilla lose the first battle, no. I'm saying in the fight, have him face all of these other monsters, go through like maybe 3 other monsters, have a good battle, and then bam, Destroyer comes up for the last fight, bam, Destroyer, Godzilla does everything, Godzilla's tired, can't fight back, and then boom. So, and for the people out there that are like, Godzilla died, no. Godzilla did die, but in the original film, Godzilla did not die from Destroyer. Godzilla was actually going to get the last blow, I believe, but then the military killed Destroyer off before Godzilla could. So, but in that film, Godzilla was having a really hard time. If you go back and you watch Godzilla vs. Destroyer, the 1995 film, I'm telling you, Godzilla had such a hard time. And then at the end of the movie, we all know Godzilla blew up. It was supposed to be the end. So, but yeah. So anyways, that's that. That's my little, I guess you would say, rant video and, all my Godzilla movies. Tomorrow, I should be getting something in the mail. Hopefully it comes in the mail after I get off of work, I'm hoping. Because I just hate when shit comes in the fucking mail and I'm at work and no one wants to be here to grab it off the fucking porch. Pisses me off. But, yeah. But anyways, I come home. If it's here, I will review the figure that I got. It's an old Bandai Godzilla figure that I managed to get in the actual packaging. The ones that you could get like back at KB Toys or Toys R Us. So, yeah. But, anyways, though, that's it. See you guys later. I'm done now. Bye.